Hello, I'm Denise Scaloni. Welcome to today's episode of Empowering You. My guest today is Dr. Ilona Berkebin. Dr. Ilona is a medical doctor who replaced prescription pads with protocols and became a functional medicine practitioner, specializes in gut health. Dr. Ilona is going to share some important information for you on how you become healthy and how your gut affects different parts of your body and causes severe chronic medical conditions. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. My guest today is Dr. Ilona Berkebin. She's an MD who replaced prescription pads with protocols and became a functional medicine practitioner specializing in gut health. Her passion is to reverse and beat chronic diseases by addressing the root cause using principles of functional medicine. She put together decades of learning, researching, hands-on experience while practicing medicine and created powerful programs that will address the root cause of many chronic diseases. She's on a mission to change the way we see health and approach diseases. Welcome, Dr. Ilona Berkebin.
Thank you so much, Denise. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Oh,
Thank you
I'm
for
so
the
happy you're
invite.
here, Ilona. I know you were on my show, Empowering Women, many years ago. And we only talked for a couple minutes then because I had a few guests on the show. And I always said I was going to have you back. And I think now that we're into a new year, it's the perfect time. And I know, I've known you for so many years. I know your passion. So that's why I'm just so excited that you're here.
Thank you.
So
I am as well.
Yeah, I know. And we've been planning it for a while, so I'm glad it worked out. So let me ask you, Ilona, what is a functional medicine practitioner?
So yes, good question. So functional medicine. So let's start with the definition of functional medicine. What is the difference between functional medicine and mainstream medicine?
Yes. Now,
So-
in mainstream medicine, you mean like just going to the doctor, so just regular doctor? Okay.
Yes. So when I was in medical school, I
Mhm.
learned diseases, symptoms, and treatments. So we will write prescription. For example, you come to me with heartburn.
Mhm.
That was okay. So you have heartburn, acid is backing up because you have too much acid. I will
Right.
prescribe you acid reducing drugs.
Sure.
Now let me step into functional medicine world. If you come to me with heartburn or any symptoms, I will say, okay, Denise, let us search, why do you have heartburn, without starting any protocol, any supplements. Or maybe I can give you some to relieve the discomfort,
Sure.
but will look like Sherlock Holmes with a magnifying glass, looking for the elements of the crime. We look for the elements of the disease, disbalance. So we go back, way back. Why do you have heartburn? Normally, we should not experience it. So what is out of balance? What's happening? Is that maybe lifestyle related? Usually diet, maybe the way you eat. So I'm not suppressing your symptoms. I'm searching for the cause. And once usually and by the way, heartburn is caused by too little acid, not too much.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I thought it was too much acid.
No. So then we search why someone has too little acid and how can we improve that? That's a huge difference.
Wow.
So basically, I got tired of the Band-Aid approach, just suppressing the symptoms.
Yes.
I wanted something more because since I was a young girl, I was always a healer, started with healing snails with broken shells, yes, and birds and so on. So I had my hospital. And by the morning, my patients would escape. But anyway, I was searching what else can I do, because I noticed that it's the way I practice didn't work. I couldn't understand. I had so many younger patients that they were not able to comply with the dietary changes I would recommend. And I was looking at them, they were like a walking bomb.
Oh, okay.
And I just couldn't understand why. Now, as a health coach and a functional medicine practitioner, I totally understand the deep emotional reasoning behind. So it's a totally different way of practicing.
Right, right. It makes sense. And I know that you focus on, just because I've known you for so long, on gut health.
Yes.
Of all things, Dr. Ilona, why gut health?
So a long story I will cut short. Two reasons. One, myself struggled for many years, decades with IBS, not knowing even know that is IBS. And the other, I was searching for, that aha moment in my coaching business.
Right.
And one year I signed up to speak at the convention here in Pittsburgh. That was a health convention.
Okay.
And I just nonchalantly, I said, okay, let me talk about gut health, not even knowing what I'm going into.
Right.
And I started researching and it just hit me, oh my gosh, this is it.
Okay.
Because the world of our microbiome is absolutely amazing. And I'm still learning and I'm more and more amazed. And as Hippocrates stated, all diseases begins in the gut. And that's so true. So who needs a gut health workup? Everyone. Now, leaky gut is tied to almost every chronic disease.
What is leaky gut?
Leaky gut is when we have increased permeability. So in our small intestine, our cells are very tightly connected.
Okay.
So big molecules, bacteria or big molecules of bacteria toxin won't be able to go from the lumen into the bloodstream, because that is a line of defense between outside world, right? When we eat food, we ingest a lot of bacteria, parasite, viruses,
right.
Toxins, and we want to natural protection that cells are very closely connected to each other and won't let undigested food especially. So what happens when we have gaps between the cells? That's leaky gut. So big chunks of molecules that should not be in the bloodstream can go easily through those holes. They are not actually holes, they're just widening of the connections between the cells. So, and that causes chronic low-grade inflammation. And usually, especially in the beginning, we're not even aware of that until the organ or organ systems or multiple organs get damaged. And that is when we start experiencing symptoms. So to explain it to you, why is absolutely so amazing, the gut health. We have about 85% of our immune reactions in the gut. So when people develop inflammation in the gut, leaky gut, the immune system doesn't function well. So we are not able to ward off diseases, fight off diseases. Okay. Also, if we have a chronic low-grade inflammation, Denise, our immune system is all the time challenged. And one day it can get confused. So, for example, if we have leaky gut and big chunks of molecules, not fully digested protein goes into the bloodstream, and that's not supposed to be there, the immune cells react. Now, sometimes in some predisposed individuals, that chunks of molecule can have similar structure like some of our organs. And that is very plain way explaining the autoimmune disease. So the body reacts, attacks that foreign molecule and attacks our organ because of the similarity. Now, in our gut, we have those cells tightly connected. We have a thick mucus layer as a protection, and we have our microbiome. And it's so amazing. Our good microbes are communicating between each other and with our immune cells how to protect us. unfortunately, today's way of living and eating, we
Right.
create a microbial genocide. So we have very low number of those good bacteria and low diversity. So we cannot maintain the integrity of our gut lining. So as you see, everything starts from the gut,
Right.
and seriously it is.
So can this be corrected, Ilona? Can you if you
Yes,
have this,
yes,
can you get this
absolutely.
corrected before it turns into
Yes.
something else? Because it sounds like
Yes.
it can turn into something like, I don't know, like diabetes, or like what kind of like medical
Yeah.
condition can this turn into?
Diabetes 1, 2, 3. There are 3 types of diabetes.
Right.
Type 1 is the autoimmune disease. Type 2 is a lifestyle, and type 3 is Alzheimer's. Recently, scientists started making connection with that, calling Alzheimer's diabetes type 3. So the heart disease, stroke,
Oh my, lots of things.
autoimmune diseases, cancer, you name it. Yes, multiple sclerosis, Lou Gehrig's disease.
So everything comes from that gut.
Unfortunately, yes. But the good news is, with a good plan, we can heal and reverse it. That's a very good news.
Okay. So, and I know that I mentioned you have programs. So what would someone do? Like if someone, for example, I always have heartburn. So if I was coming to you as a new client and said,
Okay.
Dr. Ilona, I always have heartburn. Like I take Tums all the time. What would you do, or what would the process be? What would, for someone to come to see you, what would the process be?
No Tums. Okay, so the process is this one. I will send you a lot of questionnaires, like a very detailed, old-fashioned medical history.
Okay.
I will ask you many questions about your lifestyle, diet, stress level, and everything.
Right.
Symptoms. And according to that, after that, we will order testing to see what's happening in the gut, the level of inflammation, level of imbalanced microbiome, and so on. So, and once we get the questionnaire done, the testing, we sit down together, go through the test results, because I learned that when my clients understand things and see things on paper, it's different. So for example, if I tell you, okay, you know what, you can't have wheat, you can't have dairy, you can't have sugar. So yeah, yes. But when we go through the test and I say, do you say this? This is out of balance. This is not good. This is high. This is low. You will totally understand. And the compliance is much higher. And it's easier to make changes. And of course, those changes are tailored accordingly to what every patient, every person is different. For some people, it's very easy to switch everything. For some, no. So we go very slowly. That's a beauty of functional medicine, is a personalized medicine. So basically, tailoring to the individual, the habits and personality, everything we take into consideration.
Now, Ilona, you and I talked before we started the show. It's not your typical lab test that you would get from your medical doctor. You do some other tests.
Yes. So the good thing is that today we have good and bad things. The good thing is we have amazing labs that use the latest research. Really, those tests are absolutely mind-blowing. For example, I had an old lady, my client, when I told her the urine test and I told her the organic acid test that tests you for 76 metabolites, she couldn't believe. And when she received the 12-page report from a urine sample, she said, oh my gosh, she calls me Dr. B. I can't believe this. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. I said, I told you so. So those are modern testing using modern technology. And
on a regular on a regular lab, it's just like one line. It's like I've seen lab tests, it's just one line with your test results, not 12 pages.
Yes. Or for example, another test, which I can order it, but it's not a routine, the Dutch test, dry urine test. You check all the hormones a couple of times per day, different time of the day, early morning, midday, late afternoon, late evening. And regularly when we go to the lab to check blood, saliva or urine or blood for hormones, that is that time. Is that 9 o'clock in the morning, but we don't know what's happening 9 o'clock in the evening, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those are really, that is a very good news. The bad news is that 99% won't be covered by insurance. Don't ask me why, not sure, but
Right.
it's out of pocket cost. But
Right.
many times, this is what I tell to my clients to be, what is the cost of getting sick or spending on all different kind of supplements? Let's be real here. Supplement industry is big. And overnight, companies are showing up. Not all of them have quality supplements that really work.
Sure.
And I
Sure.
see with people over and over, especially, and not saying that all new companies are bad. No, please, no.
No.
But
Right.
some of them use such a powerful marketing wording and people buy it. I just have a new client and she has, I think she spends, I don't know, thousands on supplements. Whenever she sees something new, and I don't blame her because she was lost and frustrated because no one could tell her what's wrong with her. You know, especially IBS is usually I say, oh, it's in your mind, you just think so, everything is fine, because no anatomical findings. When they do endoscopy, everything is good, you know, everything is healthy.
Right.
So she bought, and when we analyze her supplements, and I explained to her, most of them are really based of money. They have too many things of too little dose. And I told her, she's on sabbatical. She cannot buy any supplement without my approval.
Well, as a lay person, I'm not a medical person. It looks like I see these things that are on there. I'm like, okay, I know I need this. I know I need this. You know, we think that we need that stuff because we're looking at, we're conditioned to, okay, you know, I have heartburn. Let me take this, or I have a headache. Let me just take, you know, that's just how we're conditioned to do that.
Yes, I know. Yes. Yeah, that is how I was trained. So it needed for me a huge mindset shift.
Yes.
To, you know, because I knew before that, oh, heartburn, too much acid. No, there's a very rare condition, Zollinger-Ellison syndrome, that has too much acid. Okay. So 99% people have too little acid.
Okay.
And I like to teach because people don't know. And you know how many people live on PPIs, acid-reducing drugs, proton pump inhibitors, or TUMS?
Yeah.
A lot. I just had a workshop on dangers of stomach acid. So every one of your audience, if you would like to have the workshop, please reach out, comment. I will be happy to send you the link to my workshop.
Yeah, and we will have your information on here. People can reach out to you.
Okay,
and you also have a Facebook group.
I have a Facebook group with 2,000 members. Yes.
Right. And that's where you do, we were talking, your Sunday mornings, you do like chats on there?
Sunday morning coffee is on my personal page. It's not for everyone, because my mission is to help people change the way we see health and approach disease. So I want everyone to hear and see what I'm talking.
Right.
In my Facebook group, I have every Thursday workshop. For example, I just did dangers of low stomach acid and acid-reducing drugs. Next Thursday will be Gut Health 101. So every Thursday, different topic, but all gut health related.
Okay.
Because again, when people know better, they do better. So that's my big love, educating people.
Yes. And you did very well. I see you all the time on Facebook. So anyone can go on your personal page and watch these on Sundays.
And yeah, absolutely. And on my personal page is also linked to my group. So feel free, if anyone has gut issues or thinking maybe, or autoimmune disease, any chronic condition basically will benefit, because I post information, recipes, really good information.
Right. I've seen some of those recipes. They look very good. So someone could have a condition, Ilona, that they don't even realize this comes from their gut.
Yes. One thing also, not everyone who has gut issues has gut symptoms. Sometimes they have, for example, having leaky gut can manifest with headaches, low
Wow. Okay.
energy, brain fog.
Yeah.
The most common symptoms, but there's many conditions have basically similar or same symptoms. Bloating is so common. Myself, I used to struggle for many years with IBS. And but I said, oh, that's me. I'm bloated, you know, have to
Sure.
watch what I eat.
Right.
I'm
Too much salt.
constipated.
That's what I was
Yes,
saying. Too much salt.
I'm constipated because I have lazy bowels. My mother was like that. That's wrong. No.
Yeah. Hmm.
I have, so I have low stomach acid. I had dysbiosis, so on and so on. It took me a couple of years to figure out everything on my own.
Right.
I have no more IBS. So
Wow.
yes, it's, so one of my mentors, because I'm a constant learner, I still learn, I'm still enrolled in classes because I really want to learn everything about gut, and especially the microbiome. One of my mentors, he won't even start with people until they have tests done. He won't even talk to you.
Hmm. Interesting.
So
Yeah.
it's really very important,
Yeah.
very important.
Yeah. And of course, after the holidays, I'm sure everyone ate things that they shouldn't have eaten and indulged too much. Is this all caused by what we're eating, Ilona, or is that just one part of it? Is it all environmental stress?
Yes, a little bit of everything.
A little bit
Yes,
of everything. So it's not just my
yes,
diet. It could be other things as well.
yes. So for example, and I have seen that in my own practice, that people who are very careful what they eat,
Right.
organic, clean, but
Yes.
still not well because of the high stress level. They have
Okay.
highly stressful jobs,
Mhm.
and they didn't develop any protective mechanism. We all have stress,
Mhm.
right? But we can learn how to react to that stressful event or stressful stimuli. Even if we just reduce for 50%, that's
Mhm.
amazing.
Okay.
And if nothing else, there are so many options, you know, walking in nature, EFT, the tapping, energy work, meditation, yoga, Tai Chi, if nothing else. This will help everyone. When you are stressed out, especially at work, when you don't feel
Yeah.
you will going to explode,
Right.
find a quiet place. Sometimes I tell my clients, go to the restrooms, if
Mhm.
nothing else.
Right.
Close your eyes, put both of your hands over your heart, and start taking slow, deep breaths. Do it for a minute or two, then start appreciating yourself, appreciate your life, appreciate everything in your life. And that will calm down, bring down the cortisol level. Yes.
Okay.
Now, speaking of stress, that is a big problem. And I was very guilty for many years of that.
Yeah.
I was a very fast eater.
Mhm.
I would just inhale my food. And oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing even to admit. When I got married and my husband and I will sit down to eat, I will finish my meal and he will be finishing his soup. And I
Oh
said,
no.
oh my God, you eat so slow. He said, no, you eat too fast. So now he was right. I
Right.
have to admit.
Every once in a while, they're right. Right.
Yes, every once in a while. So the problem with that is we don't chew food. I'll go with me. I didn't chew food well, right? When I just gobble everything in 3 minutes, I don't chew food well. My stomach doesn't have teeth, right? It can further the chewing. I didn't have good enough stomach acid, so I couldn't digest food well. So I had a lot of leftover food in my small intestine that fed the bad bacteria, caused a lot of fermentation. Hence, here is reason for bloating.
Mm-hmm.
So when we slow down before we eat, and you know, many cultures have saying grace as a tradition, which is wonderful. Observing the food, we smell the food, and that is the impulse for our brain to start the cephalic phase for digestion. So when we slow down, we put ourselves in that so-called parasympathetic mode. That is for rest and digest. That is what we need to digest food, because digestion requires a lot of energy. So when we are stress out mode, for example, I pick up through pickup window fast food. I don't do that, but as an example,
Right.
eat while driving, I'm stressed out. Someone cut my, like I'm more excited or more nervous or upset, angry. That is a sympathetic mode. Sympathetic mode, the fight or flight response, is for escaping danger.
Wow.
When our ancestors were chased by a tiger, I like this example. What do we need? No one cares at that moment how I digesting food. My goal is to escape to save my life, right? The blood goes into muscles, into heart, into lungs. So when we eat in stressed out mode, it's very poor digestion.
Yeah.
So we have to take a few deep breaths before we eat. And after we finish a meal, give ourselves 2 to 3 minutes. We eat by working on computer, calling, arguing with family members, answering text message. No, turn off everything. We are worthy of that half an hour or how much we need to finish that meal, and chew our food until it's liquid. Now I'm still learning that lesson because I try to walk my walk. I improved 95%. I don't eat so fast, not so fast anymore, but I still sometimes have to remind myself, keep chewing.
Right, yeah, right.
And other things, we don't drink too much water before, because drinking big glass of water, we dilute juices. So it will lower the effectiveness of digestion. So that is stress. The other thing, the wrong food. We eat way too much sugar, too much highly processed carbohydrates, fried food, processed food. That is damaging our microbiome. And we don't eat enough live food. You know, the food, that whole food comes from the nature. So I like this example for my teaching classes. When we have to grab a box to read what is in the box, put it back on the shelf. Because that's very difficult for my body to digest, because we didn't evolve that fast with the Industrial Revolution. So when I see cauliflower, when I see a chicken or egg, I don't need to read, maybe expiration date, but I know exactly what is that. Same for my body. The body knows. So the food we eat is frequently not supporting us. The problem with eating the wrong food, most of the processed food we know everyone is talking about, right? And you know, when every once in a while you go and eat at, I don't know, McDonald's or Bendy's, wherever, it's okay. The body can handle it. The problem is when we eat day after day. That's the problem.
Yeah.
All day long.
Dr. Ilona, you gave so many tips and such great.
I have to say one more information.
One more thing as we wrap here. One more thing.
Yes. The way we eat the wrong way. So in our bodies are amazing. Our bodies are created perfect. We don't have anything extra. So we have an amazing, powerful motoric wave, cleansing motoric wave. The cleaning motoric complex, that means from the small intestine all the way to the end, wave moving the undigested food, bad bacteria, everything. But in order that to be in action, we need to have empty stomach. So no food for 3 to 5 hours. So we munch all day long. We don't have motoric complex anymore. Yes, that's
so you're saying problem. Like eat lunch and then don't eat again till dinner time.
So eat 3 major meals.
Right.
Most of the time. And this will shock you and maybe your listeners, fast.
fast. Yeah.
Sometimes skip a meal. That's so very beneficial. But we have that emotional connection to food. So when I mention fasting, people, oh my God, that's deprivation. No, that's the best gift we can give to ourselves, because when we fast, we heal our body.
Dr. Ilona Berkman, thank you so much, and for sharing all your knowledge and your passion and your crusade to cure people.
Yes.
And I just wish you all the best and Happy New Year. We're in a new year here. Happy New Year.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year, everyone. And let's go back on track with healthy resolutions.
And it's the perfect time to do it, right?
Yes. And don't forget, health is our biggest wealth, but we don't see that until we lose it.
Yes. Oh, yes, very good point.
Similar with money. Let's just sink in. We don't appreciate when we have money, right? We spend.
Right.
We overspend, but once we lose money, we don't have zero bank account, then we start paying attention to money. Same with health.
Thank you for watching today's episode of Empowering You. I'd like to thank my guest, Dr. Ilona Berkman. Wow, did Dr. Ilona give you some important information to help improve your lives and your gut health and your overall health? Thank you for watching, and see you next time.